back to my YouTube channel. It's your boy Tim Billions, and I have a very, very, very special guest here with me today. Listen, y'all, this is the no excuse episode. So for any excuses you got out there, we're gonna break it all. We're gonna kill all your excuses with this interview right here. All right, I have Miss Lisa Shelton with me. She is the owner and founder of The Lash Cafe in Lexington, South Carolina. She is also one of my real estate investing students who was able to take my real estate investing course, and within her first 2 months, she flipped 2 houses without using any of her own cash or credit. So I'm here today to interview her. We're going to talk about it, how she got into real estate, how she found out about me. We're going to talk about the flips she did and also what she's doing now. All right, so first of all, Lisa, thank you for doing this for me.
Absolutely.
All right, so how is everything? How you doing? How you been?
Hi guys, it's your girl Mona. So business is good.
Business is good.
Business is really good. Business has grown.
All right.
I am honestly,
Well, tell
I'm
us about
ecstatic
it.
to just tell you guys like
Tell us about
how
it. I
much
said The Lash Cafe, but I didn't say what's going on.
business has grown. So I own a lash spa in Lexington, South Carolina. Probably one of the only black spas in Lexington that has grown over 2 years. So
Congratulations on that.
we're getting ready to open a second location. I'm building out a team. I'm helping other women get started in their profession as estheticians. So business is business, but business is not. Business is very busy, but business is not easy. So the purpose of me getting into the industry was at first just to become a cosmetologist doing hair. And once I got in school to become a cosmetologist, it was like, I don't really want to do hair, I want to do lashes.
And you figured this out after you was already in?
Once I was in school. So once I graduated from school, I started working for someone and I was like, this ain't it. This, if she can do this, run this business like this, I can start a business like this.
So what were you doing? You were doing lashes?
I was doing the lashes under someone, but the management wasn't it for me. It was like there was lack of communication. There was no mentorship in the business. So, it was just like come in my business and do my work, and then that's it.
So would you say that you kind of learned how not to do the business?
Correct. I kind of learned how not to run, exactly. Yeah. I learned how not to run a business the way she ran her business. But I learned how to run a business to where other people could come in and work for me and be comfortable and be mentored and feel wanted and appreciated. So
it's still a lesson.
It's still a lesson, and everything you do in this world is a lesson if you pay attention. But so here we are today. I've been in business for 4 years, and I'm building out a team now, which is scary. It's very, very scary, but it's worth it.
Every next level of
business
is scary.
Yes. But it's worth it. So that's what we're doing.
Well, okay, so tell me this. How did you get into the real estate industry? What made you want to get into the real estate industry?
Okay, so when I first moved to Columbia, I've been in Columbia, this month makes 4 years that I've been a homeowner in Columbia. And when I first moved to Columbia, I wanted to put in my job because they wouldn't transfer me, whole long story, but I quit the job. I was no longer willing to sacrifice myself for the job. So I quit the job, and when I quit the job, there was a seminar going on for wholesaling. And I was like, this is real estate, maybe I could get into this. So I took,
free seminar?
It was a free seminar. It was like a weekend seminar. So I had a private client overnight. I worked overnight, and then for the 2 mornings that the seminar was going on, I got up and went to the seminar after work. And I learned a lot of stuff at the seminar, but I didn't know how to put the pieces together. So I just sat on the knowledge that I got from the seminar. And one day I was on Facebook. My business was already in place, but I wasn't a full-time entrepreneur yet. I was still a part-time.
You were still working?
I was still working a job, and I was putting my business second. One day on Facebook, a friend of mine, Ricardo, posted a post saying, y'all better get on board.
My business partner.
Y'all better get on board before prices go up. And at the time,
learning how to wholesale.
as far as learning how to wholesale, he posted your work go up. So at the time, I didn't even know that you and I were friends on Facebook.
Okay.
I didn't know who you were.
just
So
saw
I
the
clicked, correct. I clicked on the post and it was like, join my webinar for learning how to wholesale. So I was like, I know a little bit about a little bit. I just need some help.
Because most people think it's a scam when they first hear
Correct.
how to flip houses with no cash.
It's not a scam.
So being that you already had went to the seminar and had heard about it, you kind of knew it wasn't a scam.
I knew it wasn't a scam. I knew it wasn't
You just
a scam.
didn't know how to do it.
I just didn't know how to do it. Because at the seminar, they only gave you bits and pieces.
They give you a lot of
They didn't
education.
tell you how to put it all together. So
I started off with the free seminars as well.
Correct.
They give you a lot of education.
they give you a lot of
But as
education,
far
but they
as
want you to
instructions, you gotta pay to
pay to play. You gotta pay to play.
You
You gotta pay to play. And I wasn't at a place that I could afford to pay them to educate me more.
Right.
So I just settled the information. Long story short, I saw the recording, the post that Ricardo put out. I clicked on it. I started going through your page and I saw, I'm like, wait, he know what he doing. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna reach out to this guy and see what's what. I think I inboxed you and was like, hey, I want some more information. I see you doing a class. Is it possible that we could link so I can learn more? I know a little bit about a little bit, but I need some help. I remember saying that to you in the post or in the DM.
Okay.
I think the next day you reached out to me and was like, let's get together. I can definitely help you or whatever. But when you reached out to me, no BS. When you reached out to me, it wasn't even on real estate. It was more so on education. It was on education. He just wanted to know how well I could do business. How much of a people person was I? How well was I educated in just customer service? It wasn't even about real estate. It was about customer service. When you reached back out to me, you was like, it was like you wanted to see how serious I really was. So you was like, I want you to order this book. I want you to read this book. It was like 2 books. It was like Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and people compound effect, and I think it was
How to Win Friends and Flip.
How to Win Friends. So I was like, oh, that's it. I bought the books. The book showed up. I read the book. I read How to Rich Dad, Poor Dad first, and I was like, like what the hell do this man got me reading? And then I read it again. And then I was like, okay, I get it.
Figured out.
I get it. I think I've read that book 2 more times since the 2 times I read it. Yeah, because you learn. Every time you go back and you read, you learn. So when I read the books, I was like, okay, I get it. So now I'm hitting this man up every morning, like clockwork. Like, yo, I got a question. And he hasn't even taught me nothing yet. He hasn't even met me face to face. But every morning I'm like, yo, the book say, it's making sense, but it's like I'm not even in the world yet of wholesaling. So it was making sense just from reading the books on how to deal with people and how to present myself in the real estate world.
Okay, so let me ask you this then. After I did teach you the information, because we ended up meeting the first time, I sat there.
And I had just opened my new location when you came to meet me in August.
I broke it all down to you the ways to get started, right? So what did you think after hearing the information, and did you think or did you know that you could do it after hearing the information?
Once you broke it down to me, I was like, man, listen. So I'm just supposed to call these people phone but what if they curse me out? That was my biggest thing.
You kind of scared to call this. I forgot about that.
My biggest thing was, Tim, what if they curse me out? And for you, with you, it was just like, if they curse you out, just say, have a good day and move on to the next person. Don't take it personal. Just move on to the next person. Write their number down and call them back in 30 days. And I'm like, they just cursed me out. Why would you want me to call them back?
But see, they not really cursing you out.
Correct.
When you call these people to see about these houses, they cursing out the process.
Right.
There's been other people who has called them about the house, so they just aggravated. They don't know you personally, so they're not really cursing you out, but it's just cursing out the process of
Correct.
me not wanting to sell my house.
So
how did you get over that? How did you get over that fear of calling people? Was it me pushing you?
it was more so like Lisa. Tim was like, listen, I'm not gonna do the work for you. You can call me every morning.
Right.
We can have these morning calls every morning, but I'm not going to do the work for you. I'm gonna teach you how to do it, but I'm not making no calls for you. So I was like, man, just call. I don't know what to say. I need a script. I need this. He was like, Lisa, you got a lot of excuses, but I'm not gonna do the work for you.
So tell me about the first call. Matter of fact, before we get to the first call, tell me about how you found the first house, right? Because we flipping vacant houses with no
Correct.
cash or credit.
No cash, no credit.
Tell me how you find the first house, and just kind of tell me the whole process of how you did your first house.
So once you said you gotta call the people.
Because you was already riding around.
No, I wasn't, because I didn't know how to do it yet. Remember,
Okay.
I just knew just bits and pieces. I never knew how to find vacant property.
So once you started riding around looking for them, how long did it take you after that to find the first one?
Listen, y'all, I got off work every day and I rode around and looked for houses every day.
Sometimes you took your kids with you too.
Sometimes my kids was with me on the weekends. I would get home late in the evening just from riding around after work. Like, I was sacrificing so much time with my children. Just riding around looking for properties, because it was like, wait, is this easy? This all it takes? Because like I said, when I took the seminar, they didn't tell you how to find the properties.
Not simple.
It
not
wasn't
easy.
exactly.
Yeah, simple,
they
not
didn't
easy.
tell you how to find the properties. They said you can wholesale properties. So
because they give you a lot of education. I started off like that too. They give you a lot of education, but as far as how
Put it
do I
together,
go and
they don't give you that. So I'm riding around every day after work like clockwork. Like, I'm riding through neighborhoods, cruising real slow, scared, like, baby, please don't come out this house thinking I'm here for anything else other than looking for properties.
Right.
But riding around, I found a property probably in like 15 days of getting started. My first property, I found it like in 15 days, and I was so geek. I was geek, like, Tim, I found one, and the lady wanted to sell. So once we found the property, I reached out, I got back in touch with you, and I was like, I think I found one. And he was like, all right. Once we got the lady down to a price that would work for her and me, I was like, Tim, we got a problem. And he was like, what? I was like, I don't know how to fill out the contract.
Didn't I? I filled it out for you.
No, you walked me through it over the phone.
Right.
You walked me through it over the phone. And that day I learned a valuable lesson. Always keep contracts on hand.
Absolutely.
Not just one contract, you're going to need a few contracts.
Absolutely.
So we got her to sign the contract. She signed off on it. I actually negotiated the first deal and was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I kept calling Tim like, yo, listen, the lady trying to talk me out, I'm trying to talk her down. What do I do? And he was like, find a common ground and just meet right there, kind of give a little bit. So we did that. The inspector came out. We locked her in.
Locked in, and you made your first flip.
My first flip.
So tell me about the day that you picked up this money from this first flip. How does this feel like? Because I know you looking, seeing Tim doing it, Ricardo doing it, but it feels different when Lisa does it. Like it's no more they can do it, it's now I can do it. So tell me how did that day feel when you finally put it together and pick this money up?
So once I put the contract together, we sent it off to the lawyer's office.
Once you did the contract with the buyer?
Once the contract was done with my buyer, and everything wound up in the lawyer's hands and you had to wait. It was just like, yeah, I really just flipped the house. I ain't put no money down.
None.
And I just learned how to do this in not even 30
because
days.
with that first house, you didn't put no money down.
I didn't put nothing down.
Not even the $10 for the you didn't, because the buyer put down a deposit.
Correct.
Right, so
I didn't put no money down as far as like the
because usually you put down $10 for the deposit. Usually,
correct. The earnest money. I didn't have to put any earnest money down to hold the property because the buyer that we found was willing to do all of that. So I didn't have to put no money down out of pocket.
So this
when they called and said your check was ready, it was like, wait a minute.
Yes.
You mean to tell me I just got money for free. Like, I didn't do nothing. I didn't have to sign my life away. I didn't have to put my social on the line. I just had to show up. I had to do the work. I had to make the calls. I had to ride around. And I had to know how to deal with people.
Which is the biggest skill in wholesaling real estate. You have to have people skills because nobody is going to agree to sell you their house if they don't like you.
Nope.
So you have to be very agreeable on the phone, be very nice.
Yep.
Sometimes you're going to be dealing with some people that's irritating. You cannot let them know that you're irritated or aggravated. Keep your calm, keep your composure, and get the deal done.
You gotta bring your Harvard voice. You gotta bring your Harvard voice when you get on the phone with some of these people because some of these people been sitting on these properties forever. And it's like, why should I sell my property to you? What makes you different from the last wholesaler that called me not even 20 minutes ago? So you gotta convince these people that you are genuinely a good person. You gonna check up on them during this process of them selling the property to you. And
that's a big key.
That is a real big key, and
make sure you always keep in contact with your sellers when you're in this process.
Yes.
During any type of waiting process, call them, text them. Hey,
I'm just checking in. I'm just checking to see how things are going. A lot of these people that are that own these properties are older people, and you know, a lot of the times they just need somebody to talk to. So if you're not a people person, you're gonna have to learn how to be a people's person because some of these people just need somebody to talk to, and
I had a lady that
they will hold you there for like 30 minutes just talking to you. And you just gotta be able to flow with it.
The biggest deal I ever done. Every time I spoke to this lady, the conversation would be an hour and a half. Every time. Anytime she called me, like if she called me, I looked at my phone and saw Margie calling me. I would just go ahead and prepare myself. Like it was going to be an hour and a half call.
Correct.
You know what I mean? So yes, you definitely have to have people skills.
You definitely do.
So you ended up doing another house not too long after the first one. Tell me about that.
First of all, this couple was they was real old, baby. They was real old, and they was set in their ways.
I think I remember a little bit. What you talking about?
They gave me a run for my money. You hear me? That old man gave me a run for my money. He wanted me to pay taxes. He wanted me to pay everything. Remember So anyway.
So this is the one where you FaceTime me when you was walking
in their house.
Right. Okay.
So yeah. So my second property, I think I found that property probably like not even 10 days after closing on the first property.
And this is still riding around after work?
Riding around after work. Riding around faithfully after work. Writing every address down. Looking for numbers to call owners. Like
writing letters too?
I didn't do no letters. I left voicemails. Some of them reached back out to me. I never got to text messages. I didn't get to like leaving writing letters though.
But it's good to do all three: call, text, and write letters. If for some reason you can't find the homeowner's information, like their phone number, the accurate phone number, then send them letters every month until they call you back.
Or door tags, like.
It's nothing to do.
Yeah.
But go ahead, tell me about the second one.
So anyway, I found this property. I think I went to the house itself, and when I got there, I was like, nobody lives here. I reached out. I started doing the homework, looking for who owned the property. It was an old couple. I called, and as soon as I called, the lady was like, honey, somebody else is on the phone about this house again. And
that's what she said to her husband.
That's what she said to her husband. And he was like, okay, let me talk to her. And when he got on the phone with me, he was like, when can we meet? And I was like, I can come down. And he was like, well, today won't work. Can you come tomorrow? And I was like, I can come tomorrow. Tomorrow I had a hair appointment, and I was not willing to miss the hair appointment or miss the deal. So I went to the hair appointment, and after I drove to Charleston and came back to Columbia, I went to their house.
Wow.
And it was night. It was nighttime.
Oh.
Yeah, it was night. It was at night. Because I remember I had just got my hair done, and I was sweating like hell in the people's house. It was so hot.
Is that when you FaceTime me?
Yes.
I think I do remember you coming.
Because I was in the house and remember the man kept telling me the contract, you gotta be willing to do this in order for him to sell a house to me. He wanted me to pay the taxes, and he didn't want the money to come off his portion of the money. He wanted it to come off of my portion of the money.
I remember that.
So we get in the house. They had me there for a good 30 minutes. I called you and I was like, listen, this is the address. If I don't come out of here, send the police there.
Right.
So he wanted to talk about how long he had his property and how many other people had reached out to him about the property. And I just sat there and I listened.
What made him choose you?
I have no clue. I don't know if it was because I was willing to sit there and listen to him.
Because he told you other people had.
Correct. And what was crazy was after I got the contract signed and got the house under contract, I posted pictures of the property in a group, a real estate group. And somebody that had just called him days before me was like, there's no way that man sold a house to you. And I just reached out to him. I've been calling them faithfully. And they wouldn't sell me the property.
It was meant for you, it's meant for you.
It was absolutely. And he was like, there's no way they sold you that property. I've been reaching out to them. And I was like, well, I got the property. Do you got to buy it?
See, again, it may have came from him. Well, he said
I think he was calling too much, and it was irritating them, and they probably got tired of
you do
the
have to
same
find a
voice.
balance. You do have to find a balance because you want to follow up and keep in contact so you won't lose the deal.
You don't want to overwhelm
to irritate
the seller.
and aggravate. Right?
Correct.
So find a good balance of following up and keeping in contact without being overly aggressive or too aggravating. All right. So dealing with the difficult couple, you got that house flipped, got your second house done, 2 houses flipped in less than 60 days, right? So you were able to take that, and you already had your business, so you were able, I guess you were able to take that and, go into the business or put it in savings or things like that.
Yeah, so at the time, this was like November, I think, the girl that worked in the shop with me was giving her trouble. And at the time, I'm in a good place, so I'm like, the money just, I felt like God put me in a place to be able to help other people at the same time of helping myself. So her car was giving her trouble, so I was like, man, my kids' Christmas is together. They don't really want for much. I'm going to help her. Because I got 2 checks in no time, so it's like, I can help somebody because I'm not lacking.
Oh, let me ask you this too. On that second deal, did you use any of your money on that one?
I didn't put no money down on the second one.
So
the earnest, he wanted earnest money, but I talked him out of the earnest money because he wanted me to pay the taxes that he owed on the property, which was going to come out of my portion of the money. So I didn't have to put any earnest money down.
So you ended up doing 2 houses in 2 months without using any money at all. Y'all hear that?
I didn't put no money down at all. I just had to be willing to sit there and listen to them talk my head off.
But you took what you were taught and you actually
applied the knowledge. I applied everything that was taught to me. You applied it
immediately,
Yeah, because once you learn, you got to be able to execute right away. You can't, once you don't sit on the knowledge, once you taught me how to find the properties, the next day I think I was outside riding around like, damn, is this easy? I pass these type of houses every day.
Every day.
So I'm like, I'm running the play. I started looking. After you taught me how to look for the properties, then you was like, all right, now you got to research the people. I did that. And it was like, okay, now the pieces of the puzzle that I already knew are coming together. You got to be willing to execute as soon as you learn. Don't sit on the knowledge, because the longer you sit on it,
the more money you missing out on.
Correct. Yeah, and the more discouraged you're going to get just thinking I can't do this. Man, it don't make sense. But in all reality, it really do make sense if you get out here and execute the play.
That's it.
So my money that I earned from it, I was willing to help the girl in my salon. Her car was giving her trouble. So I was like, listen, just get the car fixed. I'll pay for it. And she was like, man, listen, that means so much to me because, nobody was willing to help her. She was like, I think it was mostly like a pride thing though, because she was like the guy that she was dealing with was going to help her. So I was like, well, if you need the money, it's here. You don't owe me nothing back in return. Just let me know and I will help you. get your car fixed, because I'm a single mother, she's a single mother, and I'm just trying to help somebody else stay afloat. Like, I already know what it's like to be a single mother with no help. I don't deal with car trouble because I'll go to the car line and give me a new car before I deal with car trouble. But I was willing to help her to make sure that she can make ends meet for her and her son.
So did she end up taking it?
She didn't take the money. She wound up getting a car fixed another way. So I just let the money sit in my account. And I was able to, you know, like, buy more inventory that I needed for my salon. Actually, for the new year that was coming in, I was able to make sure I was ahead of the game with inventory and having the things that I needed in place and other stuff like that for my salon and my children.
See, guys, that's why I always keep saying, like, even if you don't want to do this full time, this is something that you can learn. You can flip a house or two, make you $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 off these houses, and then take that and invest into another business, and that's something you want to do, or just, you know, it's up to you. But don't keep passing by these vacant houses without getting these addresses and contacting these owners. All right, so let's talk about the Lash Cafe now. What you doing now?
One thing. So some of the money that I made off of wholesaling, I actually paid to go to real estate school. I did pay to go to real estate school when the pandemic had first happened, and we was home. I finished it, but I can't pass the damn test. But the best part about it is I have a certificate so that I am able to do whatever I want to do with what I learned in school. So I just don't have the license to sell real estate. I have everything else. Like, I know the laws now.
You want to try to take the test again?
I am.
How you know you took it one time?
Hey, don't expose my business like that.
Well, I know the next time you're going to get it. All right?
But yeah. So yeah, I use the money to leverage myself and gain more education in real estate work. So the Lash Cafe.
You're talking about the Lash Cafe right now, and I know you're also doing something with business credit as well.
Correct.
So I want you to talk about that, and let me know what Mr. Shelton is doing now.
So the Lash Cafe is now a 6-figure spa, and it started off with nothing. Like, I started off with using money from my job to fund my business, and now I'm a 6-figure spa owner, which is so scary. It's like I dreamed about these days, and now they're like right before me. So yeah, I have an employee. I'm working on building out my new location and hiring probably about 2 or 3 more people
that's working in the
right now. So it's a scary world. Being the boss.
Yeah, I was just about to ask you how
being somebody else's boss.
Yeah, how is that? Talk about having employees and dealing with people working on you. Like, talk about it.
It's not easy. For me, I have a great employee. Okay, she's great. She, like, every month, this girl has been with me right now 3 months. Like, every month, I acknowledge the fact that she is still with me. Like, I appreciate you for sticking with me. Like, because it's hard to find good help, but it's also hard to work for good people. If you can't find somebody, people want to get what they give, they want back in return, and a lot of times bosses don't understand that. They don't treat their employees like they are a part of the business. It's just about business. You know, if you don't show up and help me run my business, then my business is not going to run. It's not going to flow. So for me, every month I acknowledge her and I let her know that I appreciate her. I thank you for showing up for every appointment that she had. This girl is on time. So it's just that genuineness that comes from her. But I also know it's something that I give off to make her want to show up and work for me. But it's not easy because now I'm at a place that I have to make sure my doors are opening every day to be able to pay her. So a lot of people don't understand. They want to jump off the porch and be the boss and the business owner, and y'all, it's a lie. Because when it was just me, I could eat off of that. I could feed my family off that. But now I gotta make sure somebody else can eat.
I always tell people, like, when you're the boss, the CEO, the owner, it sounds good because you know you're the boss and usually you're the person with the most money. But when you're the boss, the owner, or the leader, you're actually the servant.
Yeah.
You are the servant to your following, to your employees, to whoever is under you. You are the servant to them. because now you are responsible for them. You have to make sure they're learning and growing, or they're doing what they're supposed to do here on time. Like, it's a whole lot of responsibility you take on when you have people working up under you, or you're in some type of leadership position. So, and you're also teaching business credit now too, right?
Yes.
So how's that going? Tell me about that.
So when I started my business, I didn't have business credit. I didn't even know what that was. Like, I didn't even know it was a thing. Buying multiple ebooks, still lost in the world, and then finally I started sitting down reading
Business credit ebooks.
Business credit ebooks. I sat down and I actually read a book, and it was like, okay, the way the book was broken down, it was like, if you do this and this and this, and put it all together, then you can start building business credit just from using the steps. If you apply the steps, you can build a business credit. I applied the steps, and at first I was not consistent with the steps. So me not being consistent held up the process of growing a business credit. But once I became consistent every month, rapidly doing it every month, I started building business credit. And I did it one time because I was like, let me see if I can do it again. Because if I can do it again, and I know it's a win. And I know now I can sell this blueprint because I just did it and I did it twice. So once I learned that what I was putting in place the first time worked to be able to do it a second time, I was like, all right, this blueprint worked now. I can help somebody else do it.
So that's what you do.
So that's what I'm in the process of building out now. Teaching other entrepreneurs how to grow their business credit and actually use it and apply it to be able to leverage business credit. I'm actually opening up another location off of the bank's money, $30,000, that I was like, sure, I'll take it. I need it. So if you run the play will work.
Other people's money.
Yeah.
Other people's money.
And I'm not selling nobody no BS. Like, I'm actually helping you put every step together, do the work every month for like 4 to 5 months, and you'll start to see the results.
You know it works because it works for you.
I've done it once, yes sir. And I'm actually in the process of building out my daughter's business now, and she's only 15, but I'm building her out now. And by the time she turns 16 next year, she'll have business credit, and she'll have an established business in place for her. All she gotta do is get her license at that point. So if y'all need help with the business credit, baby, come see me.
Matter of fact, how can they reach you? Tell them how they.
So y'all can reach me on Facebook, Lisa Shelton. You can reach me on Facebook at The Lash Cafe. You can reach me on Instagram at The Lash Cafe. You can email me, Mona Lisa at The Lash Cafe. I'm not hard to get in touch with at all. I'm not hard to get in touch with at all. I don't answer the phone during the day, but I return messages and DMs once I get home. So just
so interested
come sit with me.
Learning business credit and learning how to leverage your business credit to fund your business, and hit up Miss Lisa Shelton. If you're in Lexington, Columbia, or if you're in South Carolina and you need your lashes done, Lash Cafe, Lexington, South Carolina. I told y'all this was a very, very special, the no excuse episode. I told y'all I had a special guest. If you're not inspired and motivated by Lisa's story, then you must not have been listening. All right. So again, Lisa, I appreciate you doing this.
Absolutely, you're welcome.
I'm Tim Billions, and you already know what I'm teaching: how to flip these houses without using cash or credit, wholesaling real estate. So if that's something you're interested in, always catch me on any social media platform at Tim Billions. And again, if you're interested in business credit, check out Miss Lisa Shelton.
And I'm helping the next 10 people leverage their business credit for $97. So if you're interested, reach out to me, and I can walk you through step by step, or I can do each step for you and just put you in place, and all you gotta do is do the math after that. But the math gotta make sense.
Well, hit her up right now. Get that business credit straight. Learn how to use that to build your business up or to start your business. All right?
It works.
So again, I appreciate you.
You're welcome.
We out of here.
Thank you.